So this video is about the process of karmic detanglement, right? So I wanted to talk about the lines on your hands, right? The palms on your hands. They say your life is written, right? Yeah, your life is actually written, right, on the palms of your hand, right? That's what it's saying is, right? Allah already, from the time you're born, Allah already plan out your life, and you know, neither you nor any other individual know your destiny, right? Allah is the only one who knows your destiny. That's why it have this concept. So that's why it have this concept about free will. Free will is simply because you don't know your destiny and others don't know your destiny, right? That's where the term free will came about. You not knowing your destiny and others not knowing your destiny, right? So neither you nor any other human being on earth know your destiny, right? Only God knows your destiny, right? So they say that the line, right? So the line closest to your thumb, right, on your left hand is supposed to be a lifeline, the length of it, right? So there's just a little palmistry knowledge, right? The line closest to your thumb, right, on your left palm, right, is supposed to be a lifeline. So it is said, right? So I looking at my palm, right? So at the top, right, at the top of that lifeline, closest to my thumb on my left palm, right, the long line, right, that's the line I'm talking about, right? That as it starts there, right, the first, let me see, the first bit on that line is a lot of webs, like a spider web, right? Which is what I would have been in for the past, 30 years of my life, right? For the first 30 years of my life, right? Karmic entanglement is called, right? Meaning that they involve in all kind of webs, right? They involve in all the webs of life, right? Whether it be workplaces, people, relationships, all the relationships, unhealthy relationships, people, places, things, whatnot, right? And then the line evens out and balances it out to a very, very straight, um, uninterrupted line, right? And that line goes all the way down, right? Straight and steady, right? All the way down, right? So is just to let people know, right? The process of karmic detanglement, right? This is what and detangle it so that your path becomes straight, right? And when you have to die, you die upon a straight path, right? That's what it's about. So I really want to talk about fame today, right? And fame being something that many people desire, right? I desire fame, you desire fame, right? Popularity, meaning to be liked, to gain a lot of attention towards, right? Hey, if I on a movie, if I'm in a movie, right? I'm on a cinema, right? The whole cinema filled watching me because I'm the star of the show, right? I am always the star of the show, right? I have to be at the forefront of a movie, and all the movie tickets sold out, right? All the movie tickets to this movie has been sold out, right? Because I am the star of the show, right? So this is what this video is about, be the star of the show, right? So, right? Fame and popularity. And my question is, why do you desire fame and popularity? Right? Was the use of fame and popularity? Right? Because fame and popularity does come with its own karma. Right? So to desire fame and popularity means that you want to take on additional karma upon yourself. Right? And karma that you don't necessarily deserve. Right? Because as goes to saying, hey, if you want to fulfill your dreams, is how to go through all kind of people opinions and what people had to say about you. But why? Right? It's not necessary. Right? For example, if YouTube come and expand my views, right, to 2 billion views, my comments gonna be subject to 2 billion people coming and commenting bullshit upon my YouTube. Right? I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to have to deal with that shit. Because you know what? Hey, I can see somebody comment some bullshit and like get me angry. Right? So if YouTube expand my views to 2 billion views, right? And then I bring it on karma on myself because you're not supposed to unnecessarily get angry, right? So what's the point in that? That's why I don't really care for fame, right? Because fame, right? Just like having a child, fame comes with its own karma, and it bringing on unnecessary karma upon yourself. And I don't want to have to deal with that, right? So it's the process of detanglement. So unless 2 billion people say, hey, I'm not gonna comment some shit about JESUS is LOR freaking D, right? I don't want to have to deal with that shit because that shit is getting me vexed, right? So YouTube could do bother to expand my views because you know what, I real chill, right? I real know I don't want to have to deal with the karma at 2 billion stupid fools coming and commenting JSUS is LORD, right? Because that'll get me mad. BITE nothing, right? So unless them 2 billion people sit themselves down and say, hey, JSUS is not Lord, right? Then only can expand my views, right? Because I don't want to deal with that kind of karma upon my soul of getting vexed for no reason. Again and again and again and again, right? BITE nothing, right? So people will say, like, go back to palmistry now, right? So if your line, that deep dark line closest to your thumb, right, or your left hand, if that line is short, that means that you will have a short life. That is your lifeline is called. That's your lifeline, right? So if you have middle, your line just extend down straight to like half of your palm, three quarter away, right? You'll live to about 60 years, 60 something years, 70 years, whatever, right? I see mine going all the way down, right? All the way down, right? I almost start asking myself if I'm immortal sometimes, right? Because it's going all the way down, right? So I likely to be here for a while. So I don't know why people try to take my life saying, oh, we choose you to be this person, not to reincarnate into this person, whatever. Right? This is my last incarnation. This is what I tell you. This is why I have a long lifeline. Right? I have a long lifeline because it's my last incarnation here on earth. Right? And I have a lot to teach and a lot to do. Right? So I don't want to live forever, but it's recommended that we live to 100 years, right? In the Vedic scripture and this timing, right? Vedic Upasana says that even if it recommends that we live 100 healthy years, right? Healthy people supposed to live 100 healthy years, right? And then naturally go back to God, right? So human intervention can stop my life, right? Human intervention, right? And human dirtiness, right? Can't drive me to suicide, one, right? Or they can't drive me to suicide, right? And human intervention, right? Through nanotechnology or whatever sorts, right? Or MK Ultra, right? Can shorten my life. My life already written. It's already there. It's on the palms of your hand. Your life already, your entire life is on the palms of your hand. That's what people don't understand, right? People say, oh, that's impermissible knowledge. But I looking at my hand. I not looking at telling you when you go on dead. I looking at my hand, I studying myself. I looking at the lines on my palm, right? Because my life is written on my palm. That's all you don't get. Your life is written on your palm, right? The city person you're going to marry to, right, is written up on your palm, right? And it's at different varying degrees. So, hey, if God see me to marry one person, right, I actually seeing that on my both palms. Who God intends for me to marry. And then God was like, oh, well, that person I really fit you again. Hey, because you level up some more. Hey, well, look, a different person. Look, I seen his name on my palm too, right? And oh, you level up again. Well, oh, you could stay single for the rest of your life and teach knowledge, right? That's how it's go. And that's all written on my palm, right? So everything and every possibility, right? Everything and every possibility, right, is actually written upon your palm, right? There's just a point for us to know, right? So Allah is the only one who is in charge of determining that destiny, right? Not you, not me, and nobody can intervene. And let's go back to say too that have a lot of scams out there where people want to take your money and tell you XYZ, right? It goes from India, Africa to whites, right? India, Africa, whites, Chinese, everybody just do it, right? All cultures just do it. There just have some scam people, right? Telling you, hey, you have to pay XY amount of thousands of dollars to know this about your life and know that about your life, right? Why are you so interested in knowing these things? Just live, right? The only person you should be studying is yourself, right? Sometimes people is be paying money to find out other people's destiny. Why are you doing that? Right? You shouldn't be paying money to find out anybody else's destiny, right? I did that one time, which was when my uncle went missing, right? And we went one or two places to see if we could find out spiritually what happened. I don't. That was the first time I ever deal up with something, and then I drop it because what's the point, right? What's the point? Do I still want to know what happened with my uncle? Yes. Do I still want to know the outcome? Yes. Right? But nobody can really tell you, right? Hey, this is what happened and get, because even the things that you just be thinking, God filling them out, sometimes be evil projections, right? So we don't really know at the end of the day. Even our own life is unknown, right? And even our own life is subject to us taking actions, right? Like I just be saying, right? If I interested in somebody, I had to take a plane and go somewhere and meet somebody, right? I'm not going to bring a person magically from the sky, drop a person in front of a gate and say, hey, there's the person I assigned for you to marry, right? I had to go. You had to go, right? You had to meet somebody, right? Allah not going to drop somebody from a sky and from a plane and say, hey, right? That's why you shouldn't be waiting on a relationship too, right? Just live all your life, right? Everybody waiting on the one, right? There's no one, right? So fame and popularity and karmic entanglement, right? Because I have a view on life and a view on most topics that's against the norm, right? I don't want 2 billion people coming and commenting bullshit on my YouTube, right? So I rather absolve myself from that karma of having to angrily respond to everybody, right? Now I could do like other people and tune off my whole comments, but then that would be like, hey, YouTube is in fact a free platform, and the comment section is a feature of YouTube, right? So I don't want to infringe on nobody right to comment on my stuff too. That's why you see, I ain't tune off my whole comments because hey, you have a right to comment on my video, right? I have a right to delete it, so I'm not gonna block you from commenting, right? So you turning off your comments on the videos, right? You stopping people from commenting on a public platform, on a public commentary, right? You shouldn't be doing that because YouTube's supposed to be a free platform, right? I supposed to be free. People supposed to be free to comment on each other thing. And if you want, you go to the comment and delete it, right? I don't own YouTube platform, right? But I'm a member on it. I subscribe to it, right? So there's some people who just want to turn off all the comments, right? You want to turn off all the comments on your YouTube, right? Why? People should be free to comment on your YouTube, right? So people have been commenting bullshit on my YouTube, right? But I don't care, right? I delete it. I go to the comments and I delete it. Why saying I don't want to have to deal with any billions of people coming and telling me crap on my YouTube channel, right? So it's a downside of fame, right? A downside of fame, right? Is what we're talking about. The downside of fame is all the bullshit people that start to come with, right? With regards to being famous. I don't want to deal with that.